as well. But now Nick won't be joining us tonight. He does have other commitments. We'll call it other commitments. But I did speak with him today on the phone about a few things that we can go over. And he said that he'll join us next week, of course. And if anybody has any questions, I'll come back through. I'll jot them down and I'll make sure that everybody's questions do get answered. Of course, if they're, they pertain to the kit or building something. But yeah, we'll do that next week.
I have a question.
Okay.
I want to know why he chose to go out with his wife Renee tonight instead of hanging out with us.
Yeah, that's a good. I'll write that one down.
Why don't you just call him Bernard?
Okay, hang on. Let's find out where
I believe the short answer is happy wife, happy life. But
put him on speaker.
Yeah, exactly. Is it worth it?
No, well, if you don't, I will.
Tell him we're gonna need him to put out a small fire. That's
Don't say fire when you're talking about laser wood kits, because I think that's a real thing.
Oh, well, in that case, I retract my last statement. Now, did you guys are going to open your kits, right?
I thought I'd do a live on-air unboxing, seeing as I have not had time to actually even crank it open.
Oh, that'll be fun. Yeah, because then we get to see an initial reaction to.
That's right, and then I'll be like,
"What's this?"
What I want to do?
Chris, yours is open already, right? You opened yours last week or 2 weeks ago.
I pre-prepped some stuff. Well, it's falling out of the thing. I pre-prepped because I'm like that, and I need to be a little bit ahead just in case. But yeah, I did some, stuff. But I do like to, the important thing is that when you get a kit, whether it's plastic or wood or whatever, you want to break it open. You want to go over your pieces, make sure they're all there, of course. And then just get a rough idea of what all the pieces are going to be for. Just so you know what you're getting yourself into, of course.
Oh, sure. But now you tell us.
Well, I might have to sit out this class. I might be a little ahead.
Don't tell me it's already built. He's like, so I was bored yesterday and it's already done. Oh, yeah. See, no, that's good.
Oh, come on. You guys are both way ahead of me. This is no fair. I feel like I'm didn't do my homework.
Bernard, you had homework and you didn't do it. You're getting an F.
This is bringing back some serious university PTSD.
Well, okay. Well, we can make it up by doing an awesome unboxing then. How about on unbagging? It comes in a plastic, so
unbagging.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to make Bernard big screen then, so he can open up his kit, but it has to show his face, not the kit.
If I slice my finger open while I'm opening this up, does that mean I get to I get off the hook? You know what I really wish? I wish I had an overhead camera. I think that's something I got to invest in. Do either of you have overhead cameras?
I just tilt mine down.
Yeah, I just tilt mine. So.
Oh, that's a good idea. Like that.
Hey, there you go.
Hey, do you want me to slice?
As long as you're wearing pants, we're okay.
What's that?
As long as you're wearing pants, we're okay.
I'm wearing my cool Norfolk Southern Respect the Red t-shirt.
There you go.
Nice.
And it's, I think it says something on the back. What does it say on the back? I can't see.
It's a chair.
I can't see it.
All right. So am I opening this thing?
Yes.
So Steve 87 PSAP says his is still in the bag too.
Cool.
He's in California right now though, so his is probably.
No, I don't feel as bad. So let's see what this thing's got in it.
And then McCarville Studios, breaking open a kit and photographing all the parts is a great way to document in case you lose a piece.
All right. So I think this is probably going to be important for what I need to do.
Did you open it from the side? That's like opening up a Kit Kat and just taking a bite without breaking all the little individual pieces. I don't know.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I mean, it should have been the end, shouldn't it? Like always.
I I wanted to show it. I mean, I don't know.
It's fine.
Oh my
I'm giving you a
God,
hard time.
we're off the rails already. Okay, so we have, what do we have here? We have an instruction booklet. So I'm going to put that over here.
You don't need that.
Okay, no, we've got a piece of acetate. So I'm going to put that over here. Looks to me like there's some extra copies of some sort of decals, although on like paper. So I've got some sort of signage, which I probably will not end up using because I have to figure out what I'm going to make this as. This looks like it's important. I have no idea what that is.
So you should make yours like Dr.
I believe
Mini
there's
headquarters.
awning on there.
I want to, you know what? I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with it yet, but I think it has to be like, first of all, it's going to appear on my module for sure. So is it going to be like maybe a Mini Prince headquarter building, or I don't know. Actually, let's, how many people are in the chat here?
We've
Like,
got
what's
about
the-
28.
Okay, so I need people to come up with ideas of what I'm doing with this thing. Am I building it as a flat or am I building it as a building? And I'm definitely not building it as York Industries. So,
Well,
okay,
one
so-
thing we could do is Chris can do it in a bit. Hold up the book. It does show many designs of how you can do this, or you could do it, Bernard.
yeah, okay, so hang on.
I think it's on the third page.
I'm leaning towards a background flat because I think that'll be great for my module. So I'm kind of leaning more towards the orientation. Let me see, is there a picture inside?
Like page 3.
Page 3. Page 4. That's page 3, Sparky.
Okay. Oh my God, I got to get my book out just for you. Turn the page.
It is
Page 5.
Page 5. All right.
Yeah. Well, 4 and 5. It shows.
So I think I'm looking at something like this, or maybe something like this. I'm leaning towards one of these three.
So if you point in the bottom right corner, that's the one I'm doing. Configuration 15.
Configuration 15. That's awesome. Can we do that with this kit?
Yep.
You can do all of it.
Holy
Well,
cow,
you
look
can
at
do-
all those variations. So
That's really neat,
configuration 15 is 6 inches by 3 inches. Oh, that could be beautiful. Sorry, you're not seeing it. That could be great for my module.
Yeah, that I want. so I can put
Almar
a box
is saying brewery.
Yeah, Mini Prince Brewery. That's not bad. Okay, yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards something like that. I think that would be really nice. Definitely want something that can go trackside, and I would like something that's like either rail served. Yeah, Mike, I like the Mini Prince HQ because I'm kind of in an old building. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to go with like one of those 3 bottom ones for sure.
I like that because you can put a box car beside it and kind of a stub track.
No, does it come with a loading dock? Like, is there a? Oh, yeah, there is, I think. All right.
Yep, there is.
All right. So we figured that out. What's Anthony saying here? Bernard, make it your company a Mini Prince factory. It'd be cool if I could bring up like tank cars filled with resin. All right.
Cool.
So shall I keep going through what we've got here?
Yep.
Okay. So this piece. These are in no particular order. This is just what I'm seeing.
I think that's the extra piece, isn't it?
Is that the test piece?
No, that's a wall piece that fell out of the.
Oh, that's yeah. Okay.
Oh, is it? Okay. Then
That's
there's
an A.
this with some of these little, I don't know what these are. These are some sort of weird plastic stuff. Wow, it's thick, man. That's some heavy, thick pieces. Okay. So that's piece 1. Then I've got this piece. Ooh, oh, it smells so good.
Oh, here we go.
Mm.
It does smell good though.
Oh man, I wish people could
Right.
smell what I love the smell of wood kits. Okay. So that's piece 2. Then this is another. So these are thin pieces.
So it looks like
Yeah.
windows.
Ah, smell the burn, baby. Smell the burn.
Yeah, no, hold up, Bernard. Hold up that other piece again. The piece you just had.
piece?
Look at the ladders on this and the
Yeah,
window
there's a lot of real detail on this.
But just look how thin and everything is. Like, you gotta
That's
be
what she
so
said.
careful popping this stuff out. No, she didn't.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is actually very fine. I think a very sharp number 11 is going to be required for this. I like the way Nick burns in. Like, I think it's very clever the way he burns in like the names of pieces, so you know what they are.
Mhm.
Like, that's
Very
smart.
Yeah, very, very helpful for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. I'm discovering this for the first time, guys, so bear with me. I'm just seeing what we got here. I'm guessing this is probably what that other piece came out of.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. I'm actually really impressed with the thickness of these pieces, and there's not a lot. Like, these pop right out.
Mhm.
It's really nice. Okay.
And he was saying that you can either paint it where it's all together in the sprue still, or you can take them all out and paint them individually.
Yeah. And I think I'll probably like put some. I saw Sparky had some tape there, some painter's tape. I'll probably painter tape them back in and paint them.
Actually, that's the color I actually painted mine, but okay.
Oh, that's not painter's tape?
There's painter's tape on the back of it for the
Yeah,
configuration.
that's what I was referring to.
Yeah.
So you've already spent some time with this. What are you doing, Sparky? What orientation have you figured out?
Yeah, it's that bottom number 15 that I'm doing, so I can have it.
Oh, you're
rails
doing
around.
number 15?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to do the same thing you're doing.
Well, I'm kind of hoping you don't.
Well, that makes two of us, for God's sake. All right, so let's see then. Well, then I got to go back to the instructions. Maybe I'll make up a new number. Oh, man, hang on, I'm blind. I can't see a dang thing.
I did actually see a video where a guy made this actually curved to fit a road.
So I'm confused because, if you're making number 15, that means you're actually not using some parts that are included.
No, I'm using them all.
Oh, well, no, that doesn't make sense because it says, oh, I see the difference between 14 and 15. Okay, I gotcha. So 15 is a longer, thinner L, and 14 is thicker. I got it. So what's the difference with 13 then? 13 and 14 look exactly the same. What am I missing?
Well, because you got to remember when you're looking at the spaces, so it's like either A or B. When you look at the actual pieces, there's an A with a door. There's a B with a loading dock. So depending on which one you put where, it'll serve a purpose.
Gotcha.
Right?
So configuration 13 and 14 are the same footprint size, but they'll have different details.
Right.
I gotcha. I kind of like 15.
Do you know what kind of footprint size that you're working with?
I have whatever size I want.
That's not what she said there either.
I'm very flexible. Oh, that's cool.
That is one part I did notice when you were going through the configurations of all these kits. Because I'm doing number 15, I started laying the parts out, but then I had to look at the doors, the big bay door, the windows, what pieces don't have windows. And you had to kind of put it in your head which wall was going to be where on your layout. So who was going to see what. And then you had to start manipulating the pieces to that configuration as well. So,
well, and then the other thing that I'm thinking is if you look at this, so we're looking at the bottom three, then my module, you'd only see one side of the building. So am I putting the long side track side, or am I putting the short side track side? And if I'm putting the short side track side, you almost need a spur running to the end of the building,
yeah,
which I don't have.
That's what I'm doing is a stub track right to the end of the building. So.
Yeah, which I mean, my module track work's already done, so I'm almost better to sort of, do something like this. The long side facing the track. Unfortunately, you won't see this part behind it, but.
So if you look at your wall details that you got, some have doors, some have windows, and some are just plain brick or concrete,
so
actually.
It looks to me then. So on configuration 13, it's a BAA, and in configuration 14 and 15, it's a BB. So
I just want to make a note to everybody in the chat right now. You do not have to wear the visors to read what is on the ITLA kits.
Well, hang on. In all fairness, if you're 58 years old next week and your eyesight's gone to heck, then yes, you do.
Most people in the chat.
Okay, so the nice thing about a B, because I'm reading this as a B, has a loading dock.
Right.
So that's kind of good news. And it looks to me like all of the A's do not have loading docks.
But one does have a door.
But that's a knock who's their door. It's not a loading dock.
That's correct.
So
speaking of loading dock, do you have the walkway, either the wood or the concrete pad that would go in front of the building?
As an optional add-on from, I did not purchase that as an optional add-on from Nick. However, I have 3 options. Option 1 is I suppose I could purchase it. Option B is I could scratch build it. And option 3, I do have a 3D printer. So there are lots of possibilities here. I mean, I suspect it would be more fun to purchase it and buy it and build it. I'm assuming you do have it.
Well, I have the one for the inside. So,
okay.
What I was going to do as far as the build is number 5. I originally wanted to do number 4, but it's not deep enough to fit this on the inside.
My camera go.
The dummy.
Number 5.
Configuration.
You're doing the shallow relief.
Yeah. So see how the sides you have an A on the sides?
Yeah.
It makes it a little deeper or stick out a little bit more. And that means I'll be able to put the fake loading dock on the inside, where with the other one, with number 4, there's not enough room in there. So
now the interesting thing with number 4, which is also another option, so that is 18.25. Holy crow. That's 18.25 inches long. Are there really 18 inches worth of things here? That's kind of impressive, actually.
Possibly.
This is a very large kit, actually. I'm surprised. That's actually impressive. Because with the other thing too, holy moly, with the long flat, just because there's no depth to it does not mean you can't scratch build some depth.
That is true.
It does come with 2 pieces if you just want to do it.
Okay, so I need to lay this stuff out here. Okay,
But
so I'm
no
beginning to understand this ABBA thing. Oh, Nick's kind of a clever guy. Although I guess we should say nasty things about him since he's not here.
It might be Renee that's
What's that?
Might be Renee that's smart.
Could be. Yeah, maybe it is all Renee. That does make sense. Okay, so where's my missing piece? Okay, here we go. Okay, so I got my flats. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but I'll show you in a minute. Thank you for holding that up, Chris, because that makes a lot of sense now. So if I'm correct, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces to get the full length. Let's go and look at the manual.
1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. You won't need the little end pieces, eh? The ones that Sparky was holding up.
They just come loose. They just come loose in the kit. So.
Oh, I've already lost my instructions. Hang on. What are those?
These are just the pieces. They're like half-inch pieces.
Yeah. So the one at the top, number 4.
Oh, side return. I see that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's
how deep it would be.
Okay, that's helpful. So I guess I really probably should go take a look at the module in the office before committing to a footprint.
I don't think you're going to get to the gluing part tonight anyway. So.
What gave it away?
Yeah. You taking it in the bag sideways.
You could. It would just make certain things a little bit more difficult. So basically, with the windows, I don't know if you've looked at the windows yet, but this piece here. So this
windows too.
Yeah. No glue is holding that together right now. It's just together. So you got your window frame in there, which just presses in, and then these pieces just go right on top. And there's no glue holding that together right now. But
I can't add comments, even if I stream to my audience. I like Willow Creek Industrial Spurs comment. He or she is supporting my use of visors. Thank you, Willow Creek.
Yeah, once I said it, there was a couple people in the chat that are. So I just want to show one of Nick's.
You're just jealous that I've got cool visors.
Mine's sitting right there. So, but this is the beginner kit that you can get from ITLA. So
hold on, we can see a beautiful view of the bottom of your hand. Oh, there we go.
I got to remember where my camera is because it's not in this right spot. But this one took me about 3 hours to build.
Wow.
That was nice. I like the red on it.
Yeah, this is just a starter kit. So I haven't done any of the roof details or anything on it. But you can even see the handrails on the steps, how finely detailed those are. And then the ladder on the side. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
The bumpers are a separate piece. Like everything's separate from these kits, right?
Well, I might change my answer. I'm leaning more towards a flat now than well, there's also configuration 6, which is kind of, you get the best of both worlds. So a little bit longer than your it's 7.5 inches instead of 6 inches.
I like all the weird shaped ones. If I knew where it was gonna go, I would totally do one of the weird shaped ones, but I have no idea where this is going, so
yeah, I'm gonna have to take a good look at the track work. I mean, I've got a single track. Now it's interesting though, because I've got a single track going by, but then I've modeled like an abandoned track where they pulled up the switch.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's just kind of grasses, and it looks like I embedded the ties without the rails into the module. So it looks like it's, a ghost track.
So you want to make this a Shapeway factory then?
A what?
A Shapeways factory. It's
abandoned. Because I put them out of business?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We'll go with that then. It's funny because this actually looks this sort of general look and feel looks a little bit like the Mini Prints miniature Printerland World HQ. Like it is an old brick building.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of wondering too if I can kind of be cool to actually model the building I'm in.
That would be cool.
I need more B with loading docks though. I wonder, do you think, is it illegal to take one B and scribe another loading dock into the other B?
I won't tell anybody if you don't tell anybody.
Because what I'm kind of thinking, and this is off book, but what would be very interesting, there are 2 Bs, right? This B here.
3, 4. There's 4 Bs.
4 Bs? Right, sorry. There's 1 B with a loading dock, 1 B without a loading dock. And then the other two Bs just have windows or doors. I wonder if I could scribe a loading dock into this one and give me two loading docks. So this one would be a loading dock. And then over here, scribe another loading dock in there.
I don't see why not. You just got to copy. There's a garage door.
Well, I would think you'd be able to, it's the same shape. I would think you'd be able to put it over top and just trace it out. What's this piece? I haven't figured this one out yet. Oh, it's the roof. Never mind. Figured it out.
The roof only works with certain configurations. If not, you
I see that.
Yeah.
So what do you do for a roof if you're building configuration 4 or 5 or 6?
Yeah, it says you got to make one out of styrene or something.
That or Nick's suggested foam core board. You know, you can get some from the dollar store.
Yeah. Huh. Okay, that's clever.
Okay, kind of have
So,
roughly. Whoop. Obviously, it's not glued, so it's not going to stay together all that well. But
okay, so I'm going to make a note. So, Sparky, which one you've committed to number
15?
15?
Yeah, 15.
Okay, so I'm going to circle 15. That's Sparky. And what are you doing, Chris?
number 4, I believe.
Configuration 4. So that is the full length. Okay.
Minus 2 flaps on the side. 2 of the skinny
is that
flaps.
configuration 5?
Technically, wait, is it 4 or 5?
Hold on. Look at my screen. Which one are you?
Sorry, number 5.
That's what I thought. Okay. Because it's kind of fun if we all do different ones. All right. So then I'm leaning towards a 6 then. A 6 or... Yeah, maybe I'll do 6. 2 Bs with an A in the middle. That could be cool.
Yeah, that would look cool.
Yeah. 2 Bs with a... Yeah, okay. So my leading contender right now, because then I get the full dimensionality. All right, I'm leaning towards 6. So who else is doing this with us?
I think Trackside Mike, but he won't be joining until next week.
Okay.
And then Steve says he has a kit. I don't know if he's coming up to do it or if he's going to be in the background just watching. Not sure yet. And there wasn't anybody else that had mentioned or confirmed.
Okay, so because it would be, yeah, I like the idea of us all doing different. All right, so configuration 6. Well, that's easy. It's just BB, BB. Let me take a look. I'm gonna do something crazy here now. I'm gonna pop out a couple B's and an A and see what that looks like. Okay, so there's 2 B's and an A. You really do need to live with it a bit and visualize it, don't you?
Well, yeah, especially like because you know your layout and where it's gonna go, and I'm sure you picked out a spot for it and whatnot, right?
Maybe yes, maybe no.
Well, you have a rough idea, anyways, of what you would do.
Maybe yes, maybe no.
But do you know what color you're doing?
Color? We get to do this in color?
Yes.
No, I have not figured out any of this.
That's fair.
I just opened it. You watched me slice it open 10 minutes ago, right?
I guess.
The thing is, like you said, Bernard, like your building that your office and stuff is olden brick type, so you probably do it the same style, would you not?
Hang on, let me see if I can fire up a picture.
Kind of old school when it comes to putting the mortar lines in. I know there's so many different ways to do it now. You can buy a mortar product, or you can use like drywall compound and stuff like that. And I'm just simple paint and water wash. So.
Nick was telling me about a way that when you're basically done weathering it and painting it and all that, you take the dry plaster, a little bit on your finger, and then you kind of wipe it on there a little bit, and you don't wet it or anything. You just let it sit, and it sits very nicely on there, and it's just dry. It's like a dry ad.
I'm trying to find a picture of the back of my building. For reference. Here's the front of the building. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, go ahead. Should come up here, right?
Let me see. Window. Here we go. Yeah, so there's the front of the building. It's very similar, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Same size and shape of windows. And
it's like a black frame with a tan colored ledge.
Yeah, but look at the windows. Look at the window detail. Very similar.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to look at the actual brick here, because this top brick very different than this front brick.
Is that you poking out the window there? Is that you?
Yeah. Gasping for breath as the printer fumes. It is interesting to look at prototypical brick. I want to get a picture of the back of the building, though. The back of the building is what I was looking for.
Now you know what your homework is.
Study the brickwork of my building?
Yeah.
Well, it does help, It really does, actually. Like looking at... let me stop sharing. Looking at prototypical brick pictures does sort of give you a sense of what to do. Let's just look at something here for a minute. Placements, that's what I'm looking for.
Kind of forgiving, actually, like to follow the lines, but to do the mortar lines just with the wet wash type thing.
Here we go.
It's kind of forgiving if you go over the lines. It still kind of sucks it up into the cracks. So.
Can I share again?
No. Here we go.
So this is the back of the building I'm in right now. And I think it's really interesting because it was obviously rail served. And you can see...
That's the back of your building?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, so I went across the tracks and I took a picture. And it's kind of interesting because you can see these, there's a loading dock right there for sure. You can see my mouse, right?
Yep.
So,
see that little white vent that's on the wall there? You get one of those in the kit.
The up and down one?
No. Just to the bottom right. It's right in the middle of the two.
This is
right
air
there.
conditioning unit.
You get
that's
one of
AC.
Yeah. Is that AC? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's AC.
Yeah, you get a little AC unit in your kit.
Oh, nice. So this is the back of the building, and it's kind of interesting because you can see, I mean, these were obviously loading docks here that are all now just filled in with like glass brick.
Yeah.
It's an interesting example. I don't think I've ever shown this to Nick, but for me anyway, it's an interesting example of how they've repurposed an old, 1800s, early 1900s industrial building and, modernized it. And I really like stuff like this, these details where, there's like bricks missing and, chunks of concrete. You can see windows have been knocked out. Like there were obviously up here, there were like 3 windows, but 2 of them have been filled in. And like, I like this kind of mess.
Well, the kit really gives you that option if you want to leave the windows in or not.
Yeah, I see that.
And you can almost make it look like it's totally separate.
Cool. Yeah, so it's like that's another decision. It's going to be, are windows in? Are they out? Do I knock them out and put in glass brick? This glass brick is kind of cool, actually. I could do a like a 3D printed clear glass brick for some of the windows.
So Bernard, there was parts that came with it. There's my camera there, but it's not going to show it. But there's brick pattern on some of these that you knock out, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. Man, decisions. Now, it's interesting because Nick has made this a 3-story building. So another decision is, do I want to knock it down to 2 stories? Because that would be interesting as well. These are pretty, I mean, I'm actually really impressed with how flexible these kits are.
I think the last thing the book says is actually use your imagination. So.
Uh-oh, now we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of like the glass brick idea just because it's something that I see in front of me every day. Definitely lots of AC units can be tossed out of these things. I actually haven't looked at the 3D parts yet. Let's take a look at what's in here.
You forget what you printed?
These actually, I will be honest and say these aren't mine.
Oh, okay.
These are, I think Nick might have gotten himself a 3D printer. Or I think these are his. I think he printed these. I do most of the stuff, but I think these might be. Oh, yeah, look at that. Is that an AC unit? Hold on. It's Optivisor time. Oh. Okay, I see a 55-gallon. I see 2 trash bins. I see, I don't know what that is. It looks like a box. And I see 2 crates.
There's a couple skids with it.
I did not get skids with mine. Oh, are they
check on that big flat piece?
Yeah, they're wood kit. I see yeah, okay. Oh yeah, look at all these details. Holy crow. So the AC unit is it's a wood piece. Oh, look at that. Holy moly. That's cool. What are all these main wall corner covers?
So see how your walls go together like a puzzle piece? Those run right up the side there to cover that.
Oh, got it. And not that I need to say this, but there are a ton of little mini print details that I just happen to have that will pimp my ride.
I was thinking that you need some pigeons right along the top there. Just
well,
waiting.
Gentlemen, in the spirit of cooperation, if there's anything that either of you would like for your kits, just let me know.
We appreciate that.
Definitely, I've got window AC units, pigeons, for sure. You know what I've never done, which would be a cool figure? Someone like hanging out a window.
You got the person hanging off the side of the layout.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm thinking, well, yeah, you could sort
Yeah.
of chop them and have them sticking their head out a
Couldn't that
window.
work?
That actually would be good. I could do you, Sparky. We could have you hanging out a window.
Yeah, I got to make another trip to Mini Prints at some point.
Well, there is that one Sparky that I haven't listed yet. Don't I have a Sparky over the edge figure?
Yeah, I'm collaring with my hands.
Well, that could be good. We could have you yelling out the window.
Yeah, there you go. That'll work.
Hey, you kids, get off of the tracks.
You know, my camera's not really picking it up, but when this stuff dries, it almost disappears.
Yeah, let's we'll remove that for a minute so we can see.
So let's see what we've got here. We've got
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, arched window headers. Oh, and windowsills. Oh, cool. AC unit. Okay, we got an AC unit.
Well, the
So
good
what's
part
this?
about doing this live is Bernard's not really talking to himself, but I'm pretty sure when I opened the kit, I was the same and did talk to myself.
Well, I am talking to myself. The difference is people are actually listening to me talk to myself. Wow.
You're totally right though about the smell of the kit when you first open it up. It just
Oh.
smells so good.
Oh my God. I would. Oh man, it's worth the price of admission just to get high off of the burnt wood.
Reminds me of summer.
I feel like going to roast some marshmallows. So I don't mean to like spoil the surprise, and I should probably read the instructions. But what's this?
I think that's a canopy
That's
kit.
there's an awning for something. Yeah.
Oh,
Awning for the front door.
all of these?
Well, you can't print just one.
How big an awning is it? Hang on, let me look at the pictures again. I'm not seeing an awning.
It's on one of your little boards.
Are we talking about, hang on,
Here it
Like-
is.
this right here?
Right. There's the awning.
No, but I'm trying to picture it on the actual building. Snorkel vents.
So, Chris, I know when you opened your kit, you were going to lose a little wire that was hanging off the back of yours.
Yes.
Did he tell you what that was for?
Yep.
Are you going to tell us?
Yeah. So if you look at the picture of the roof kit, so there's the one pipe that sticks up really high, and then there's two what looks like threads holding it.
Oh, okay.
Are you talking about that I'm
That's
holding
the
up to
wire.
this?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. That I'm pretty sure, like 90% sure that's what that's for. I can't see it anywhere else, but
Was that an optional add-on kit?
No, that comes with
no,
it.
that comes with it.
So I should be looking for that in my pile of things.
It's taped to the back of one of your boards. The one with the two round dowels in it.
Oh yeah, look at that. I keep finding little pieces and I don't know if they're important or not.
Well, I'm not throwing anything out.
Like I just found this and I suspect it's probably critical to something.
It might be the inside of one of the windows.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. You're right. Oh man, I'm gonna have fun with those windows. Yeah, you're right. It's a window thing. Holy moly. Okay, so step one, I'm going to summarize right now for those who are playing along at home. Step one, understand what you've got, unpackage everything. Step two, make a decision as to how you're going to build this thing. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. And then I guess I'm definitely not going to get into the paint stage tonight. But you really do need to spend a bit of a time just sort of sitting with it, don't you?
Yeah. read through and see what your options are. And then there are some videos as well. Obviously, Nick has quite a few on his YouTube channel and whatnot, so would be worth people checking out. And then there's a couple others. Muskoka Steve, he did a really good job of this kit. And Sparky, who was the other person that you had recommended?
Joey Buzak.
Yeah, he did a really good job as well. But
I know
that his is the modular one, right?
Yeah. I think his channel is a late night hobbyist. And he does his own kits now too. So
Muskoka Steve is about one of the best wood kit builders I've ever seen.
I think you're biased.
What's that?
I think you're a little biased.
Because he does great work?
Or just because you know him?
Well, he was my over the edge number one guy.
Yes.
But I'm in awe of his. He really knows how to put a kit together and make it look nice.
Yeah, I think I was over at Steve's place 2 weeks ago, I think, and he's got the one ITLA kit and all his kits are wood kits though. I think he's got one plastic kit. Excellent work that he does.
He's one of those guys who, no, I can't find. I've lost a side A. Oh no, there it is. I put it together. I took it out of the thing and mocked it up. Okay, there it is. So I have a question now. Some of these panels don't have brick etched on it. So what are your thoughts on the panels that don't have the brick etched on it?
It's a nice wall for putting a, decal. It's a nice flat surface. But
yeah,
it depends on what you're trying to do.
Because if you're building the flat, it kind of interrupts the flow. Unless you say, like, there's something else. Let me look at the pictures again. Oh, I see. There's kind of like stucco.
Yeah.
Or concrete. So how are you guys painting this? Are you masking it?
I mask mine off and use spray cans.
Got it. So, let me see if my bunny's here. Hang on. My bunny cam just went off. Did you guys see my bunny post?
No. You have a bunny?
So, do you have time for a story that's not related to anything?
We always have time for stories that are not related to anything. Especially if it's about a bunny.
So last night, my dog went out into the garden and she was just losing it. She was like going insane. And we've got a rabbit that's been hanging around, like an Eastern cottontail bunny rabbit. And like the rabbit likes to taunt the dog, and the rabbit will sit like stock still in a corner of the garden. And the dog will be like going crazy, like smelling it and looking for it, but the bunny will be completely still. And they're on separate sides of the garden. And it's a very small garden. I mean, this is like maybe like 15, 20 feet from one side to the other. And the bunny will be sitting there. And I'm like kind of watching this whole thing in slow motion, thinking like, oh shit, is the dog going to notice the bunny? Is the bunny going to notice the dog? And I couldn't figure out yesterday night, and this is about midnight when I let the dog out for her last out, like the bunny was just like right there and the bunny wasn't moving. And I'm like thinking like, run away, bunny, run away. There's like this mad hound dog in the backyard that's going to eat you. So it was kind of exciting. And I saw my dog going into one corner of the garden and kind of like digging and burrowing. So I didn't think anything about it until this morning when I went out to let her out again. And she went right to the same corner of the garden and started like just losing it. And then I looked where she was and I saw this kind of like feathers and fluff. And I'm thinking, oh God, like a baby robin or something's fallen out of the nest. Turns out that what the dog, Coco, had found was a bunny rabbit nest.
Oh.
And she dug it up last night. Unfortunately, she killed one of the bunnies, like one of the baby bunnies. But when I looked, there were like 5 others. And like cottontails dig like a little depression, put their babies in and then covered up with fur and leaves and stuff. So this bunny is literally nesting in our back garden in a planter, like at nose level. So after all this excitement, I'm kind of wondering, like, is she coming back? So I set up a little video camera on the bunny nest this morning, because I'm gonna have to see, like, these bunnies are maybe 2 or 3 days old maximum.
See, I didn't know bunnies dug little burrows.
They dug a little depression. Like Holly, my wife, was out in the garden and she said she saw like someone had dug out the planter, and
Yeah,
she
so
she thought it was like a squirrel.
Yeah, Amy said the same thing to me. She was out mowing the lawn about a week and a half ago, and she's like, "There's a little hole right in the middle of the backyard."
Yeah.
And then she looked out about 10 minutes later. There was a rabbit sitting at it.
Well, you got bunnies too, man.
Yeah. So
So my bunnies. So if you look at this picture right here, you see that sort of planter right in the middle there, like the metal planter.
Yeah.
So buried in the soil there are 5, like maybe 2 or 3 day old baby rabbits. So I'm kind of wondering, is Mummy coming back tonight to sort of feed them, or am I going to have to deal with? Am I going to have to raise them as my own?
I was going to say, have you named them yet or anything? Because I think once you name them, you get to keep them.
Fluffy, Muffy, Cottontail. Well, I'm taking orders. They'll be ready in 3 weeks, and they make lovely pets or stew pots, whatever you want. I'm actually surprised. We have a ton of coyotes, like a ton. Like we're right near High Park. Yeah. And we see coyotes walking around all the time. I'm amazed there are any bunnies alive to nest around here.
Well, like you said, it sits in the backyard as still as it does. Your dog doesn't see it, so.
Well, that's the thing. If they're stock still, I guess animals just don't see them. Yeah. No, Steve, I don't think the bunnies are going to die. So I did a lot of reading on it, and it's interesting. So bunny rabbits nest, apparently they're known for nesting in backyards with dogs. And the reason for that, which kind of seems stupid to me, but the reason for that is that the things that eat baby bunnies are raccoons, skunks, and opossums. And I guess the rabbits have figured out that there are no skunks, opossums, or raccoons in backyards with dogs. So they actually choose backyards with dogs as being safe spots to build their nests. And apparently bunnies are really good. Yeah, this is now an official podcast about bunny rabbits, not ITLA Woodkits. But I was reading up on it today, and bunnies are really good moms. And they said that even if your dog disturbs the nest, if you just put everything back the way it is, the mummy bunny will come back and care for the babies, which is why I am literally monitoring 24/7 to see if mom does come back. And if she doesn't come back, then I'll probably have to dig them up and drive them to the wildlife center. So I hope they're not going to die. And I hope that she will come back. Apparently, even if the dogs dig up the nest, the mums will come back. And I guess I will know tonight whether she comes back or not. I am kind of curious.
You have to keep us posted on Bunny Watch.
Bunny Cam. Yeah, I'll live stream Bunny Cam on my next stream. You want to see what baby bunnies look like?
Yeah. That looks good, Sparky. What gray did you go with for the Oh, they look so small.
Yeah, they're tiny.
Is there any hair on them?
No.
Wow.
They're like, their eyes are closed. They've got to be, I figure they're at least, Well, they're 3 days old, 3 days old maximum. So
Yeah, they look fresh.
yeah, they're brand new. I hope they make it. They're cute as a button.
Cute as a button.
I hope Mom comes back. Stay tuned. Mini Prince will be streaming Bunny Cam live. And no, I did not scan the baby bunnies.
Wow. Terrible.
Who went with that?
They do look HO. Derek says Bernard put stuff around the nest to keep the dog out, but enough room for the bunny to get in. Actually, we banned the dog from the backyard for now anyway, and we're taking the dog out on leash. So we will take her in the backyard on leash, or we will take her around the block. But she is no longer allowed in the backyard.
Well, you'd still want the scent of your dog in the backyard to keep the skunks and the raccoons away.
Yes. I mean, she can pee and poo on leash, but she's not allowed to rape and pillage, and she can't add bunny killer to her resume. Although I think she already has. Actually.
So she's not a pirate.
Arr. All right. So I have a question for you, Chris.
Go ahead.
I obviously need to read my instruction manual, which I'm doing right now while you guys work. But my question is, you had Nick on last week, did you not?
Was that last week? No, that was the week before that.
Okay, the week before.
Last week I did my my sample, my build.
Oh, okay,
sample.
right. So the week before, when Nick was on, I have not watched that yet. I'm sure everyone else here has, so I'm behind. But what do I need to know based on that broadcast? What were the tips that Nick gave you that are worth passing on?
He actually, well, because that was more of an introduction to ITLA and the kit that we'll be working on. He didn't really get into the specifics, except I did open up my kit. That's when I opened mine. Okay. So I got a good look at it, a good whiff of the burning wood. Very nice. It was, it was a whole ordeal.
Spectacular.
And then I made some of the similar comments that you had made, where a lot of the parts are labeled what they are. They're not just numbered; they're labeled, and
right,
to really help you out.
Okay, so I'm basically just repeating what you've said.
Yes and no. I mean, like, for those who don't think or might think that it might be a biased opinion, I mean, everybody knows that I've done my share of plastic kits. And right. I think one of the biggest things here is after painting the brick on a wood kit compared to the brick on a plastic kit, the paint itself absorbs into the wood really, really well, where on plastic it sits on top. So when you're doing your layers of brick and whatnot, it will absorb, and it doesn't sit on the top. It works. You keep all that detail with the wood kit, so you're gonna have lots of fun with it, I think.
I'm reading Steve's comment. Did you see Steve's comment?
Open from the top.
I might as well just quit right now. I've done it all wrong.
That's funny.
Yeah, well, Derek, you're watching three guys in Canada building kits, and only one of them's drinking beer, and the one guy who's drinking beer is drinking a US beer. Oh, all right. Yay, Sparky. So this is there you go. That counts. There's probably a little rum in that Coke, isn't there?
There should be.
There should be, but there isn't.
Oh, hang on. You guys want to see the bunny killer? Come here, Coco. Hey, come here. Come here. Come on up. Let's show everyone what the face of a bunny killer looks like. Here we go. There you go. Did you kill a bunny? Did you kill a bunny? Yeah, she did.
Murder.
Murderer. Murder. Hi. Hi. Do you want to go outside and eat some bunnies? No, you can't. I'm sorry. Yes, the face of a killer. All right. It's amazing how badly she wants to go out and check out the whole bunny situation. All right. Okay, so any tips that based on either what Nick said or what you guys have learned, anything that I should take away as I go and start thinking about painting these things? Because I guess once I read the instructions, I'm going to have to start thinking about paint pretty soon.
Painting is very, very like, you have to pick your base color and do the whole thing. You could mask off individual sections, but he said now, and this is just the color I went with, Beauty Tone, and it's a gray. It's like a newer concrete color opposed to aged concrete.
Yeah.
He said that when you get your base color, do the whole thing. That way, it absorbs into the wood, and you're building a foundation from that.
Right.
And then he suggested any brick that you do. This is red oxide.
Yep.
Krylon. It smells really, really bad. So make sure you're ventilated really well.
I eat that stuff for breakfast. So if you order a old Ford truck or a wrecked car, or I use a lot of that in my day-to-day mini prints.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite the. Also, it works well for CN. If anybody's wondering, you're doing a CN car.
I actually painted half my studio was painted in that color.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Another thing he said was that you can. So I've got this clear coat. People were giving me the business last week because in between my layers of whatever, I didn't clear coat, which is totally fine because it was just a test sample. But
right.
When you do your basic colors, clear coat to seal it, then you can do your brick and then clear coat, and then you do your washes, clear coat.
And why are we clear coating?
Basically anything that you don't want moved or removed.
Okay.
You can, you don't have to, but did I what?
Oh no, I was asking Sparky. Did you clear coat, Sparky? Sparky's on mute.
There we go. I'm unmuted now.
Yes, you are. Did you clear coat?
Yeah, after every layer, I did clear coat.
Okay.
And he also says that's because of some of the weathering that you do a lot of rubbing.
Right.
You don't want to rub off the layer before it. Mm-hmm. So you clear coat it, let it dry, and then go into your weathering and stuff like that.
So did you spray everything in the brick color and then just mask out the brick in the red oxide, or did you only spray the concrete in the concrete and the brick in the brick?
So I sprayed the gray first and used painter's tape where I was going to paint green, and then I let that dry. And then I clear coated that, took off the painter's tape, taped over the gray, and taped my green, or painted my green.
So you're not doing brick?
I am, but it's gray brown brick.
Got it. And what did you do, Chris?
Completely gray for everything. Then I masked off wherever my brick is and wherever the chips are away from there. Then I did all that in the oxidized red.
Okay.
I also popped out. These are all the, you can't see it because it's all oxidized red right now, but any of the round topped. So it gives you two different ones. There's the square top and the round top. So I did all these.
You're talking about the arched window headers.
Yeah.
Got it.
So those I did in the oxidized red, and then the little sills that go at the bottom, which are right here, you can't see those again because they're all in the gray as well to match.
Okay, got it. Got it. Interesting. Yeah, this is not done.
A matter of having like a plan of attack.
Yeah, I'm beginning
Yeah.
to get a sense that I need to. It's funny because the first night it's very much just wrapping your head around it. Ooh, I know what I want to put on my building. I just figured out I want ivy on my building.
Those security cameras would look real good.
Yep. Security cameras would be great. The air conditioners would be great. What else? I've got, yeah. How many weeks do you figure this will go?
Well, I wanted to get through May first, so May, and then we'll see come June. If you guys need like, you know, another couple of weeks, we can keep going until everyone's done. You know, I'm not going to rush it.
Are we going to take a break on the Saturday that Sparky and I are at the YouTube meet and greet, or are you going to forge ahead?
Probably. Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay, so
that's the okay, so that's 24th?
18.
I'm sorry.
So in other words,
So
next week I will paint, or I will have it painted.
Yeah.
Then the 18th we're off, and then the 25th we're on again. Cool. Okay.
why don't we do the promo stuff? We can totally do promo stuff. Sparky, did you want to talk about the meet and greet?
Well, meet and greet is basically go over to my channel and check out the videos for it because you're running out of time.
Oh, Sparky, you're such a good marketer.
Yeah, I know, right? No, it's the third weekend of May. It always is. It's kind of when I take a holiday, and I like to keep it train related. So I just put it out to everybody that they can join me. And all the links for this year I have in a couple videos. So if you go to, there are a couple 3-minute videos I got. So if you go to those videos, all the links, all the tickets you need, they're all right there. What's the first one is Jim Thorpe on the Friday, 3:00 train. It's the Dome car. You got to get your ticket beforehand on that one. And then Saturday is Reading, Pennsylvania to Minersville. It's in an RDC. We go down there. It's an hour-and-a-half trip there. Then ride behind a steam locomotive to a coal breaker. And then the RDC back to Reading. Make sure you get your ticket that says returned. And that'll be good. And then Saturday or Sunday, we're going to Hamburg, the Reading Museum. And I'll let Bernard say the last place that we're going.
So I'm going to be all day. Well, I guess from 2:00 till 8:00 on Sunday. I am going to be scanning at the Lee and Keystone Valley Model Railroad Open House. And actually, I want to share my screen here for a second. So hang on. Oh, was I already sharing? Uh-oh.
No,
Yep.
I was?
It was in the basement.
Oh, okay.
Sharing from
Let me share this new screen, because I don't know if you've seen this, Sparky, but this club, I guess it's a club and a museum. They've started sharing some promo here. Hang on, I've just lost my screen. Give me 1 second here. All right, there we go. Present, share screen. Okay, this club, they've started to share pictures. Oh my goodness. This is one of the largest club model railroad layouts in the US. The open house looks absolutely amazing. Look at some of these photographs. Hang on.
Yeah, he said it's 45 minutes if you just want to walk through real quick. but he's saying you need at least an hour and a half to really take in the whole layout itself. And then if you're going to take pictures and video and stuff, you could be there a good 3-4 hours. So
Yeah, I'm actually excited to see this layout. It looks spectacular. It wasn't on my radar. I didn't know anything about it, but it looks like quite the layout. Their open house is, here we go, May open house, Sunday, May 19th. I think they charge $8. Yeah, $8. Kids are free.
I think we're getting in for $5.
Oh, that's good to know. I didn't know that. It looks like a really, really fun layout to see. And as I said, it's Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, which is, how far is that from where we're going to be?
Well, from Reading, it's 43 minutes, and from Hamburg.
Hamburger.
I say it every time too, but from Hamburg, it's 50 minutes. So
okay,
roughly
nice.
an hour.
Nice. And so I'm very excited.
Now, the other thing there too is it says open until 5. And that night, Sunday night, they are staying open until 8 o'clock for our group. So
excellent. And if anyone here is within earshot of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and has seen the layout, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't seen the layout, or if you want to come see it again, I have a page. Actually, I'll go to that too, if you don't mind. If you go to miniprints.com and then /meet and greet. Let's see if I can get it up here. There we go. I put up a sign-up page. And there are 22 spots available, 20 spots now because the first 2 just booked out. And then you can just click on the 19th here and pick your time.
Didn't you say there was a promo code to use to save $10?
Oh yeah, that's true. Thank you. Sparky 107107. So if anyone wants to get scanned and they're part of your YouTube meet and greet group or are watching, just type, if you go and you book your time, you enter all that information, and then there'll be the next screen, I think, will ask for a promo code. Just type in your name, Sparky 107107, and you get $10 off.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now that's another thing with the meet and greets too. Is you don't have to come Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can just come on the Sunday if you want. So if you just want to come to the club and check it out, get in for a decent price and stay extra long and get scanned by Bernard, you can do that just on the Sunday. You don't have to you don't have to participate basically in all the events. It's my holiday basically. I just put it out so everybody else can join me. So who does can.
So where do people get tickets for the Bud RDC?
That is, see, I'd have to bring all that up, and I don't want to. I've already got 3 screens open.
Just tell me, and I'll put it on the screen.
Well, just go to one of my 3-minute videos.
Okay, so hang on.
All the links in it. It says, "Are you coming?" Basically.
Okay, so we go to YouTube.com, and then we find Sparky 107107. Oh God, I'm not going to tell you what comes up on screen when I type that. Okay. Present. Let's just see. Share screen. Sparky 107 share. Okay.
Trying to watch paint dry on my camera. I think it's done. So another thing I did, Chris, on this, because you're probably going to put lights or something, but I painted the back of mine all black, right?
Okay. So where am I looking here?
Just to get rid of that color.
Videos.
I'm not sure how the light bleed would work with these because it's so thick, right? But that is a really good idea.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's all the links you need.
Okay. So here's the... Oh, shoot. It popped open a new tab. Hang on.
So, yeah, the Minersville Day Out 2 RDCs. Get your tickets now. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, scroll down a little bit. You'll say get your tickets.
Yeah. So I've been on this RDC, by the way.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that guy though.
No, I'm just saying, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying I've been on the RDC. So much fun.
So scroll down and get your tickets.
Okay, itinerary. Depart 9:30.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Arrive at 11. So what happens between 11 and 3:30? What's in Minersville?
That's when we're going to take the steam train down to the coal breaker.
No, do we need a ticket for that?
It's part of it.
Oh, good, because I don't think I got one of those. And then, okay, so this is a full day. So this is like basically 9:30 in the morning. We're back at 5.
That's right. Okay, so click on buy tickets.
Okay.
Click.
I know it opened another window. Hang on.
Oh, I just want to know how many tickets are left. So if you go to the Reading one.
Okay, hang on. I'm working on it. Here we go.
Pick your departure.
Departure station, Reading.
There's 44 tickets left. So
Out of how many?
130.
Whoa. Okay, so they are going to sell out.
So that's in less than 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Or in 3 weeks, I guess. But yeah, guys, if you're coming, get the tickets for that. And that is a once in a lifetime experience. It might even say that in the description.
Actually, for me, it's twice in a lifetime, but that's
the trip to Minersville in the coal breaker.
Okay, that's once in a lifetime.
Yeah, so it's tracks they don't normally use for their passenger service.
That's true. That's true. I have not been on that trip.
So, like I said, when it comes to my meet and greets, I do try to throw something that's unique out there, and the Saturday is the unique day.
So my dad, I'm going to change subject for a minute. May I?
Not another dead bunny story, is it?
No. So my dad has a ton of National Geographics in the basement. And I was going through, like, they're all from the 30s onwards, like 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, like every single National Geographic from 1930 to 1985. And I was going through the old National Geographics and pop open this the screen, Chris.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Sorry, I was looking at the thing and
yeah, no problem. So there are all of these. So Bud advertised full page ads in the 1950s National Geographics.
Oh, wow.
And I have all of these unbelievable Bud ads. They're just absolutely spectacular ads from the 1950s. I think this is 1954, I think, something like that. These ads are just gorgeous.
That is really cool.
Yeah, it's really fun to see all these old Bud ads, and the graphic arts on them are stunning. Good evening, Ray. Split Rock has joined, I see. Yeah, it's fun to ride an RDC. It's something that you just wouldn't actually get a chance to do normally. I think there's maybe one in North America still running, as an actual, not a tourist railroad.
Via Rail has one, but I think it's owned by Rapido guy, Jason.
I thought, no, Via still has a Via one, I think.
Isn't that owned by Jason?
I don't think so. I think it's on a regular Via run.
Oh.
But I don't know.
I thought it was sent to the same yard as the LRC and all that.
They're pretty amazing. They're noisy, but fun noisy.
All right, Chris, you got to make yourself big screens. I want to know what you're doing. You look like you're picking up individual bricks.
I'm totally doing individual bricks. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I went there. So with a toothpick, basically, because I've got about 3 colors here. So I scribed a little bit, with the the wife's nail file. She don't need this back. I took a little bit of the red off, and then I went in with individual colors, kind of going throughout the brick there. And then you got to put the wash over top of it and all that. But it kind of looks like, I think this one looks more noticeable with a little brown. Oh, wow. And I'm just using a toothpick to do that. Just taking my time with it and going brick by brick kind of deal. And going through with a couple of different colors, bright, dark, medium. And if you guys want to know the colors that I'm using a raw umber, which is like a dark brown, the light brown, which is a burnt sienna, and then a bright color, which I use terracotta. It's more of like an orangier look to it.
Now, are you working off of photographs, Chris, or are you kind of making it up, or
making it up as I go?
Nice.
So just a question then, do you have to pick off the previous color to put on that color, or can you just go over it?
I'm just going over it.
Are you?
Huh. Yeah. It's the dark is easier to see, but then once you put the wash over top of it, it really it blends them. So if you go too bright, you can just put a little bit of a darker color over top of it, and then it washes it right out. But yeah, it's obviously when you got the sections that are like pure brick, it does take a little bit longer. But I think that once you put the wash over it, it'll look really nice and it'll blend really well.
Yeah, so John's saying the Sudbury to White River train 181 uses the RDCs. 3 of them.
That's the one I was thinking about. Sudbury to White River 181 is, I think, scheduled via.
That's cool.
And I remember reading somewhere that it's like the last RDC in commercial operation that's not, like a tourist railroad.
Yeah.
Oh, did I tell you I saw my very first Charger on Thursday? Siemens Charger.
I haven't seen them in person yet. That's crazy.
Oh, it is a really pretty train set.
Yeah.
They look futuristic. My niece goes to university in Ottawa, and she was telling me that she jumped on one to come into Toronto a week or two ago, and she got on this thing, and she said to the porter or the conductor or whatever, oh, I didn't pay for business class. And he said, no, you're in like regular economy. And she said the inside of the train was so nice that they thought that they'd upgraded her to business class.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like apparently they're pretty impressive on the inside. They look futuristic on the outside. They're gorgeous.
Well, Via's rail fleet now is all from the 50s, right? So
yeah.
About time they got an upgrade anyway.
Well, they're very nice looking units in real life. One day I will have to hop on one. The only, I think they're are you on the Toronto to Ottawa run, Chris?
As in,
like, what stop are you? Like, are you near a Via stop or no?
Not really. The closest one to me would be Fallowfield Station.
How far is that?
20 minutes.
Oh, okay, so that's not far. So if you went down to Fallowfield, you'd see one.
Yeah. Well, we normally go out to Smiths Falls, which is it's a 45-minute drive, a decent drive through the outback there. And it's a CP yard. So we sit there and we normally watch the CP trains going through, and sometimes they do some local switching there. But then every hour to 2 hours, a Via rolls through. I haven't been rail fanning since the fall, so I'm yet to see these things in action.
Yeah, they're impressive.
It's on my list though.
Yeah, I ended up scanning a guy in Oshawa, So I was hanging out at the Oshawa Via station, and oh my goodness, like that's a pretty great place to go rail fanning.
Yeah.
You get CN.
Yeah, it's funny when
Yeah, go
when
ahead.
you did your live on Wednesday. I didn't realize that George Taylor was your next guest, and then when I was talking to you, he texts me and he's like, "Stick around," because he goes to the Ottawa club, and I know him. And yeah, no, I thought that was funny. I was like, what are you doing here? And yeah, it was nice to see that you scanned him for the belt pack operator.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
and I scanned a friend of his named Andre for the second figure, and I met Andre in Oshawa. Andre, I think, was originally.
Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, well, I was in Oshawa to scan the second figure because I wanted the two different figures to be two different guys. So that's I'd never rail fanned Oshawa before, but man, it's a hub of activity. I think like a CN went by, as then like a Via was going by, and a Go pulled in behind, and then on top there was a Genesee and Wyoming GEXR X Conrail GP15 switching the GM plant. So it was like one of those things where like you've got it looked like someone had built a layout where trains were going over trains were going over trains. It was amazing. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you guys get all the action out there in Toronto. That's what I miss about living in Toronto.
Well, Oshawa has Toronto beat, that's for sure.
Oh, when will those belt pack operators be available? Asking for a friend.
Well, funny you should mention, because tonight's, and I didn't quite get around to it, but tonight I was going to paint. So this is figure number 2. So this is Andre. George has been painted.
Oh, nice.
Andre needs to get painted. I was going to do him tonight, but I'll do him tomorrow. And my plan is to list them on Monday.
Oh, nice. Okay, so those will be up on your website on Monday.
Correct. That's my goal.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, that's tomorrow's activity. It was going to be tonight's activity, but then so
Building.
I'll paint them up tomorrow.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool though. You did a really good job. You can see the difference in the printer because you said how you use the new printer or scanner.
Yeah.
For them. Yeah.
It's the detail on the new scanner and then the new printer at the highest resolution is just a kick up. Like it's so much better than what I was getting 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Even like 2 years ago.
And I know it's kind of silly because I know I've had you on the channel before, and I know that you've been doing a lot more tours in the US and definitely expanding. But if you guys don't know who Bernard is and Mini Prints, please check out the website because he has a lot of great detail stuff that I've used on my layout as well. Just it takes your detail to the next level. So
actually, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to get going soon because I got very excited. Clarkson's Farm is season 3 is on. I think we're going to start that tonight.
Sounds good. Good.
I really enjoyed season 1 and 2. I don't know. Have you seen that show? It's really funny.
Which one?
Do you know Jeremy Clarkson? He has this car show called Top Gear. British guy. He bought a farm and he knows nothing about farming. And it's a really great show. I think it's on Amazon Prime. Actually, I'm sure it's on Amazon Prime. And he's pretty funny.
I'll have to check it out.
Definitely worth doing. Here, while I'm here, I'm going to take a minute away from the kit, and I'm going to do a quick dry brush just to show you some of the details on Andre. There's someone screaming outside my window, "Go Leafs, go." Is there a game on tonight?
Are they winning?
There must be. We can hear all the bars out on Roncesvalles, which is our main street, like a block away. So whenever there's a sporting event and the team's winning, you can hear the people in the bars yelling.
Henderson's not open at night?
Oh, I can't hear them from here. They're a good kilometer away.
No, I was just wondering if they were open for it.
Oh, I'm sure. Why, you want to meet me there?
Yeah. A little late now.
It's about a 45-minute drive for you?
Yeah, about an hour.
An hour? Okay.
Depending on traffic, mind you. But...
Oh man, it took me an hour Thursday night to go across town. 10 kilometers. I don't know what's that in miles. Does anyone know?
7.2 or something.
Okay, so it took me 50 minutes, 50. It's crazy.
Definitely don't miss that Toronto traffic.
Oh,
that's for sure.
Well, now that Holly has a horse, I think there's got to be some sort of exit the city strategy. Get out of town.
I figure the Leafs are winning because I can still hear kids outside playing hide and seek and tag and stuff. I didn't think kids did anymore. It's kind of neat to hear it.
Kids aren't supposed to be outside playing. They're supposed to be inside on their devices.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this, but I will hold it up.
Oh, here, let me go full screen for you here.
Okay. So I just did a quick dry brush. So this is George's friend Andre. It's probably pretty crappy, but you can start. This is HO scale, and you can see. I know the focus is crap, but you can literally see like the facial features on this figure. It's insane.
Yeah, that looks really good.
Like I cannot believe. Probably need more light on it. But you can see, all the wrinkles in the clothing. Like it's.
And these were to complement the Rapido Jeep 9s. But are you going to have them for N scale as well?
I will definitely. You know what? I can probably print them in N scale. Yes, I will have them as generic belt pack figures in all 4 scales in HO, S, and O. They're going to look incredible in O scale. Like, they're going to be off the charts. So yeah, the answer is yes, but they're really made to go with the Rapido RMs, which I have one, and they're unbelievable units.
Yeah, it must be nice to have friends.
Which one did you get?
I got the RM GP 9 RM and Slug. I don't know what road number. I'd have to look up the road number, but I got the Mother and Slug.
I was very on the fence as to which one to get. I really like the zebras, so I was thinking 2 zebras.
No, I didn't get his. Here, I'll show you which one I got. I got. Well, I've got a picture. Hang on.
The noodle.
La la la. Let me show you the one I got. Let me go back to images. People library. Here we go. You don't need to see pictures of Pumpkin. There we go. Present. Oops. Share screen. Window. Share. There we go. Pictures in the basement. 7210.
Ooh.
And there's George standing in front. And if you want to see what the slug looks like, hold on. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see the strobe on top?
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
well,
on top
right.
and underneath by the fuel tank.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
It's a really nice unit.
Steve wants to know what happens when you put salt on your slug.
So there's the mother. And then here comes 254 is the slug. And what's really interesting,
is it heavy?
In real life or in the actual like model?
Yes. Yeah, the real one I'm pretty sure is I meant the slug itself. Does it have a good amount of weight to it?
Oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, it's even got a decoder in it. It's got its own sounds.
Oh, wow.
And it moves independently of the mother, because I had the two. I didn't even consist them. I had it on 03, right? Because I haven't programmed it yet. And I had the mother and the slug put together on the test track, on my little module there. And I was cranking it up and it wasn't moving. And then I realized that when you like just run it on Locomotive 3, like the default, both units are powered. So like I uncoupled them and I moved them and I had them the wrong way. So the mother and the slug, like one was moving forward, one was moving backwards. So both units have decoders in them and both are powered units. So the actual slug, the slug is not like a dummy unit that just gets pulled by the mother. Like it's a full locomotive with a full decoder in it.
I wonder if Rapido's got that geared all the way down to 15 miles an hour top speed.
They do when you've got it in. So if you hit F14, which is the
switching mode.
Yeah, it's what you need to do to get the flasher on it. There's one thing I would have done differently, but if you hit F14, you get the strobes on. And you hear the sounds there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on.
It's like crew chatter almost.
Yeah. There you go. I don't know if you heard that. But what George was telling me, and this brings up a really interesting point. So I was saying to George that I love the strobes, but I find sound-equipped locomotives are really annoying sometimes. I want to mute the sound. Just because if you're like, I was taking photos of it. So the thing was going for like half an hour and I was like, okay, like just F8, 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 right? Just to keep it quiet. If you cannot mute the sound and have the strobes going. So if the strobes are going, the sound is going. And what George said, and this will bring up another interesting point actually, is the sound is not coming from the locomotive and it's not coming from like the radios, it's coming from the actual belt pack. So the remote control unit that they're holding is making those sounds. Like the sounds are from the locomotive played by that little thing he's holding, the remote controlled unit. And it's interesting. Steve asked a question that I was curious about, like why the slug? Like why not just the locomotive, right? So I had all these questions for George, and the question I had was like, well, if they're a two-man crew, so if it's him and his friend, and they both have these belt packs, these remote control units on their, around their shoulders, Why don't they just have a 2-man locomotive crew? Like, what's the advantage of actually having a remote controlled locomotive, right? Because it's still the same amount of labor.
Yeah.
Well, why not just put a guy in the locomotive and have a guy, coupling and uncoupling cars? So George started explaining it to me, and what I realized is there are going to be like a ton of people with these mothers and slugs from Rapido that have no idea how they prototypically operate. So George and I and Rapido are going to put on a master class probably next month. So I'm guessing like early June, and it's going to be how to prototypically operate your GP9 RM mother and slug with, of course, your little figures, but how to actually like work them in the way that a real CN engineer would work them. Because like Steve and everyone else, I have questions.
Well, I always thought that's what the beacon meant was remote control.
They do, yeah. But like, why even bother with them?
Yeah.
And like, I was wondering the same thing that Steve said. Is like, how come they don't just have the locomotive? Like, why do they need the slug? Or why don't they just put 2 locomotives together?
That's a very valid question.
So all of this will be answered in the Rapido Mother and Slug GP9RM Masterclass with George Taylor coming up next month.
That'll be cool.
Well,
looking forward.
We will get to ask him all the questions. I found it quite fascinating, actually. It brings a whole new level of operations when you actually like talk to a guy who does it for a living and knows what he's doing.
Yeah, it's true.
Because I mean, I just think they look pretty.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, there's a lot of people who look to do that prototypical operation style. So they'll need that.
Well, I'll bet you there are a bunch of people that are going to buy these like mothers and slugs and just run them mainline freight. And it's like, no, that's not what they do. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing that. But so Randall says less fuel to burn, one less prime mover, and less to maintain. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, yeah, there's usually a reason for everything.
Yeah, it's usually got something to do with money.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not seeing a bunny yet, guys. I might be the father to baby rabbits.
Are you going to replace your beaver logo with a bunny logo?
Father of baby bunnies?
Yeah.
I don't know. What I will probably end up having to do is if we don't see a mother bunny in 24 hours, I'll probably have to figure out where to take them and how to save them.
Yeah, I don't mean to sound cruel on that one, but wouldn't bunnies be like a dime a dozen?
Are you advocating Mother Nature take her cruel?
Yeah, no. I think they're gonna give you a funny look if you take it like a.
No. There's a wildlife rehab place that encourages people to save animals, but I mean it is kind of Mother Nature. I mean, if she's silly enough to choose downtown Toronto for her nesting, I just don't want to be the guy to kill bunnies. That's bad karma.
I've seen those used at an auto rack facility. I would think that at a large grain terminal it would work too. Yeah. Well, they have a couple out towards you, right, Sparky?
Yeah, but they don't use
well,
slugs.
Southern Lights. They don't use the slug?
I don't see any slugs around here anyway. They use GP 3815s.
They're still using the mother and slug, the CN mother and slugs at the Mac Yard.
Yeah. And isn't there one that's like painted green? Like it's the Heritage unit? I think I've seen that out in Brampton somewhere. Their intermodal yard.
I don't know about that, but I know that I was standing on a bridge and overlooking the Mac Yard 2 years ago. So I was going back in my photos and looking at I was on the Highway 7 bridge over the Vaughan Mac Yard, and there was pretty much that exact unit. I mean, it wasn't 7210, but it sure looked like it. And it was a mother and slug, 2-man crew, and they were just building trains. So to answer Steve's question, I have motion sensor on the camera, and I get alerts on Bunny Cam every time anything moves out there. And I would think that Mom should be there by now, because usually when the sun comes down, that's when you see her in the back garden. And I have not been alerted to motion in the last 2 hours. So from 8 to 10, it's kind of slowly getting darker here. And I'm kind of wondering. I mean, I'll review the footage tomorrow morning. But I'm kind of wondering if maybe Mom had second thoughts.
Your problem now.
Yeah, exactly. Great, just what I needed, more kids.
These ones you only have to look after for a couple weeks, I think.
3 weeks. Yeah, but 3 weeks from now, they become fucking teenagers. Oops. Did I just ruin your YouTube rating?
Nah, no one watches this stuff anyway.
Okay. If you swear on YouTube, do they give you a strike?
They can.
What's that?
They can, depending on how you've got it rated.
Oh, really?
But due to that COPA thing that we went through like 3 years ago or whatever, I'm pretty sure we've all got our channels rated for not under 18.
Yeah, I say not made for kids.
Yeah, so.
Because there's excessive beer drinking on my channel.
How was that peanut butter one? Was that decent or?
So good. I kid you not. I'm probably the only person on the face of the earth that
you drink
does not.
Cold, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm probably like one of the only people on the face of the earth that does not like peanut butter. Like I'm just not a peanut butter fan.
Oh yeah, no, I'm right there with you. Peanut butter is gross really? Unless it's like in a Reese cup or something. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've never, like, even from being a kid, I just never liked peanut butter sandwiches.
Yep.
But this beer was exceptional. Like, it was so good that if the beers were a gift from a friend of mine, Dan, in Maine, and if he said I had more of it, like, come down and get it, I'd be like, yeah, I'm there. Like, it was exceptionally good beer. I was surprised. And usually, like weird beers like that tend to be like more novelty than beer. You know, they're sweet and they're. But this was a very good beer.
Yeah, I was taken back by that because peanut butter, sure, with fluff too, eh? You know, I think everybody was really kind of intrigued with that one, and that's why.
Well, the minute I got it, I knew, okay, everyone's going to choose the weird one because, you know, watch Bernard throw up or get drunk or drink the high alcohol or the weird. Yeah, it really did taste like peanut butter, Derek. It really did. It tasted like peanut butter and it tasted like marshmallow. And you'd think that a peanut butter marshmallow tasting beer would be horrible. It was really good. All right. my figures are primed and ready for tomorrow. And I think I've got a good grasp on my kit in terms of I know what I'm going to do with it, or at least I think I know what I'm going to do with it. So I think I'm going to go and start thinking about what I'm going to do with 5 baby bunnies tomorrow.
Sounds good. And at least you'll have something to do, throughout the week there where you can kind of like chip away at it or
yeah,
play
I
in
will
it,
definitely, I
prep it
promise I will
for
be
next week.
I'll be far more prepared, hopefully caught up. Now, are you guys going to work on it throughout the week, or are you going to save all your work for like on air?
I'm going to save all mine for next week
Okay.
so I can think about what I'm going to do again.
Okay, so then what I'll probably do is I'll at least get my footprint sort of figured out, and probably maybe, well, yeah, I'm hoping that I'll get caught up on at least like the priming to you guys. And that will be my goal. It's kind of fun. Like, I like this notion of group build because, not to complain, but the one thing that has suffered in the last 4 years is my actual modeling. So it's kind of fun to have a self-imposed deadline and to work along with you guys. And like, a group build is great because you will actually build.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I mean, like between that and the fact, because I know that a lot of people will buy kits and they'll just, well, I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it. Crack one open, like it's all part of the hobby. You don't have to necessarily have a layout.
But it's scary.
Well, I'm going to say wood kits are scary. I've never done a wood kit, like literally of this magnitude. But you give me a plastic Walters kit, as bad as the instructions are, I'll still plug away and get it done.
Yeah.
But yeah, because of the group build, and Chris, you bringing this up and getting the deal from my Nick and ITLA and stuff, I thought, what the hell? Like, and Nick's really good too. If you screw up a piece, he'll print it for you and he'll send it to you. Like, that's the other thing too. When he said that, I'm like, you know what? I'm in. Like, if I can't screw it up, great on me. So,
well, the other thing too is there's no such thing as screw ups because there really is a prototype for everything. So even if you think your brickwork is not the way you want it, I guarantee that there is brickwork that looks like that out there somewhere.
So I'm going to be in the same boat. I'm going to probably cash it in and go back and see how my wife's doing. She, just for people that don't know, she had a operation. What day? Wednesday. She had that Wednesday morning. So she's a little tender still. So
well, I hope
she's good. She's good. It was a preventative operation. So, but just to show what I've done the mortar, painted mine gray and brown, and then the green stripes just to be different. Did the mortar lines with just a wet wash for white. And then I'm using this Weather Mix Rust stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Alcohol based. But I'm just trying to see that for a little bit of weathering and see how it's toning the color down and adding like a rust look to it. So
looks really good.
Now, I don't know if I'm going to get into the detail that Chris is getting into with each individual bricks and such, but be nice to see how he's making out on his. And that's the other thing that's going to be good about the group build too, is sit back and look what other people are doing. And like you said, you can't screw it up, so you can always go back and change things too, right? So
Sparky, I think you have to paint each brick individually. That's what I read in the instruction book.
You got a different book than I.
Page 6.
Yeah, right here in bold.
In 6.
Page 6 in bold. And it's funny because I don't know why he put in, but it says Sparky has to paint each brick individually.
Yeah, just Sparky.
Yeah. Oh, there it is too.
Just Sparky.
Oh, man. You guys had Nick do that on purpose.
Yeah. Well, I hope Amy's feeling better.
She's doing okay. Like I said, she's tender and sore. And slow. So
speedy recovery.
All right. Well, I will let everyone know tomorrow if we had a bunny tonight. And thank you for doing this, Chris. Like, really, this is like the first time I've probably actually like even gotten close to modeling in the last 3 or 4 years. So this is going to be very fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
No
really
problem.
appreciate it.
And thank you for joining, both of you, obviously.
My pleasure.
And we got a couple more guys that'll join in too. But we've done a couple of these in the past, not again to this magnitude, but yeah, I always have fun doing these, and I look forward to doing even more in the future because gets you doing stuff, learning new techniques and whatnot. So
Well,
how
hold
we
yours up,
grow.
Chris.
Sorry,
Hold yours up, Chris. Let's see how far you got.
I can hold up like a piece.
Okay,
That's
or
all.
just the camera. It doesn't matter.
Uh,
I'm interested in how that brick technique's really turning out. So
Put yourself
Okay,
put yourself full screen there, Chris, so we can see it.
so this is okay.
I know you can. That's the thing. That's why I tape mine on the back, just so if you do pick it up, it's not going to completely
There you
fall apart.
It's the darn.
Ooh. Oh
So,
my God, that looks incredible.
Jeez.
Oh man.
But that's only with like the brown. So I still got to add the brighter colors and then wash it. But yeah.
That's really nice.
See, I want to be a week behind now just to see how you keep going.
Yeah, exactly. I might not actually do anything this week. I might be 2 weeks, I might go 2 weeks behind.
Oh, it looks amazing. Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Good night, everyone.
See you, Bernard.
I'm gonna take my my reading to bed tonight and do a little midnight reading.
I don't believe you.
All right. Oh, Mrs. Mini Prince is here. Do you want to come and say hi?
Hey.
I could get in trouble for that. All right. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks again, Chris. And I will talk to you guys this week. And if not, we will, I guess, same time, next Saturday at 8 o'clock?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
No problem.
Bye, everyone.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
All righty. We got rid of the riffraff.